Rock on. Hello and welcome back to the KenOhwee Channel. Today, continuing at honoring the master Bruce Lee, I'll be talking about the other Bruce Lee in the S.H Figuarts lines, and yes, we'll be talking about the Bruce Lee with the yellow tracksuit. Look at that! So he's the only man that I know that made yellow tracksuit look cool. It's Bruce Lee. Whatever he wears, I want to wear. It's so awesome. So without further ado, let's have a closer look at the box. So behind the box, you have Bruce Lee with all his awesome action poses again and more interchangeable heads. Look at that. That's awesome. So you got the Joker smile looking and then the little smirk and then the I don't know how else to express that besides that sound. But how can you not go a moment, whenever you talk about Bruce Lee, how can you go through a moment without ever saying the word? But anyways, so I'm really excited to talk about this figure. So without further ado, let's crack open at this figure. And here is Bruce Lee with the yellow tracksuit out of the box. And I had a quick play with this guy, and I gotta say, interchangeable faces, you can't change it with the original Bruce Lee. Why? So if ever you want to use the facial expressions that comes with this package, you need to use this particular head. So you need to use this head on the other body if you want these facial gestures on that body. So yeah, so unfortunate about that. Really disappointed. I really wanted the interchangeable faces to happen in both figures, so it's just easy instead of just having to swap the heads. But this is what we get. Why, Bruce Lee? Why you do this to me? Overall, it's a completely new body sculpt. So without further ado, let's have a closer look at this figure. So taking a closer look at this figure, look at Mr. Bruce Lee looking at the enemies next to him or looking at the hot girl like, oh, she's hot. But yeah, looking at a closer look at the face. So this face sculpt, although it resembles Bruce Lee, just like the original Bruce Lee S.H Figuarts, but for some reason this face is slightly shinier. I don't know if you could see that shine on his face right there. So comparing it with the face from the original, like you can see that shine is like, oh, that you need to use more moisturizer, man. But anyway, going down to the yellow suit. So you don't have the bicep swivel anymore, sadly, but you have that body armor looking thing. And then they did all the creases and the folded up sleeve. They still modeled the hands and everything really nicely. You still got the veins and going on and everything. So everything is smooth on this part. And then they even changed that diaper look now. So it's slightly slimmer because this tracksuit is, body hugging and all that. But they still modeled creases a little bit. And yeah, not much going on in terms of the sculpt because it's just like a plain suit. So they did, however, try to model as many creases in this suit as much as they can. So that's where you see a little bit here going on. So that's really nice. And I like how they did the shoes. So yellow Essex looking shoes. Look at that. And we have shoelaces all modeled in very nicely. So paint application turned out really well as usual from S.H Figuarts. And yeah, I really like the sculpt despite the fact there's no bicep swivels and yeah. So yeah, without further ado, let's head on to the next section of this video. So going on to the articulation portion of this video, this figure can look up as usual from Bruce Lee, can look down, there's a lot of head pivot right there, he can look left and right, and he can pivot left to right, there's a lot of head movement for Bruce Lee. And then he has a butterfly joint, he can move up and down slightly, and he can push up about that far, and since there's no bicep swivel, but you can swivel this part right here, so it serves as a bicep swivel. He has a double jointed elbow, but because of the sleeve right here, that sort of hindered the double jointed movement. The wrist can move 360, it can move up and down slightly, and the peg is, as usual, just like the original Bruce Lee, the wrist comes in a small peg right there, so you gotta be careful. The waist, however, is a bit of a disappointment, so there's not much crunch going on. It's Bruce Lee, how can he not crunch? He can arch back about that far. So yeah, they're really disappointed with the crunching. There's a lot more crunching in the original Bruce Lee S.H Figuarts. But for the waist, he can turn side to side on the upper abdomen and the lower abdomen. He can pivot left to right slightly. So fair amount of waist twisting, but sadly not a lot of crunching. Work out your abs more, Bruce Lee, come on. And he can kick up about that far. So he can do the Bruce Lee kick, but it's not all the way to the side. So that's really unfortunate. but he does have a thigh swivel a little bit. He does have double jointed knees, and that ball joint is really obvious. It's just like a Revoltech joint right there already. The feet does move up and down. It does have a slight ankle pivot, and of course it has toe articulation. Look at that. So for the accessories, Bruce Lee comes with 3 extra interchangeable faces. First of all, we get the shocked face or the face. So I don't know how else to describe it. You know, when you see these faces coming at you, you better run or you're gonna die. So that's the face of death. And also he has the looking the smirking face. So he's like, oh, that girl is hot, hello there sexy. So the gentle smile from Bruce Lee face. And you also get the why so serious face. Yeah, once Joker poisoned Bruce Lee, this is what's gonna look. Yeah, what's up, yeah. So yeah, we get this face. So that's really comical. So I can predict that they're gonna be using this and the face a lot. So yeah, just showing you guys the difference between the 2 heads. On the first glance, you think that what's the difference. So as you can see, this is a different connection to that one. This is a little bit more square. So if you try to use the original face, which is this one from the original S.H Figuarts Bruce Lee, if you try to connect it, for some reason it just does not peg in. So I've tried it a few times, so it does not work. So and same thing goes for the yellow tracksuit Bruce Lee. If you try to fit that one in this one as well, in the original Bruce Lee, it does not work. So it's something with the peg system right there that just hinders this whole connection to be joining nicely. So the only way to have the facial expression that comes with this yellow tracksuit Bruce Lee on the original is that you have to swap its head. So that's the only way. But you have to be careful because the last time I did it, the peg got stuck in this one because this was really tight for some reason. So I had a hard time pulling that peg out. So I'm not going to do it again, but I'm just letting you guys know. So just be careful. And in terms of weapons, it comes with 2 yellow nunchucks, which was featured in the movie. So you got the one with the bendy one and the one with the straight one. So the bendy one, I believe, is for Bruce Lee to tuck in between his armpits. So like the original Bruce Lee figure, it comes with the chain, so that makes it difficult for it to tuck in between the armpits. So, and then you got the straighter one for during some action scene where he attacks the person with the nunchucks, and he's dead. So, and it also comes with a kryptonite staff. Look at that. Nah, it's just like a weapon with a green staff used in the movie. So yeah, just a plain green looking staff, which could be used by Batman to to stab Superman. And it also comes with 4 extra pair of hands. So you got one with the thumbs up, so just saying no 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 no, or just pointing at it, pow. You got the open-handed hands, and you got the fist with a hole right there, to hold the weapon. So just like that, and you have Bruce Lee holding the weapon. And also you got the hands slightly curled up. So it's just more for an action thing. You can't really hold anything with this hand. Maybe there's future Bruce Lee weapons that you can use this hand to hold something, but at this point in time it's just for posing. Does not have any purpose at all, sadly. And you can change the hands between the 2 Bruce Lee, so that's really nice. For example, I'm going to change this one with the original Bruce Lee hands that they provide. So yeah, there you go. This is from the original Bruce Lee S.H Figuarts, so that's really nice. You can do that. Do you want a drink, sexy lady? Do you want to have a beer with me? Rock on. So yeah, I just have to be careful because for mine, some of the interchangeable hands have much smaller holes than the back, so it's really tight going in, so you just need to squeeze it a little bit. So just got to be careful about that. So since the pack is really small, it might break off, so you just got to be careful. So in summary, in terms of the sculpt, with the lack of ab crunch and bicep swivel, and as well as knee joints really being exposed, it kind of let me down in that department. And because of all those design features, it also limits the amount of articulation this figure can do. So it still has a great range of articulation, but just not as much as the original S.H Figuarts, in my humble opinion. But I still really like the amount of weapons that it gives. Still a decent amount of weapons and a decent amount of hands and also facial gestures. So As a package as a whole, I would say this is still a great package. So really nice paint application, really nice sculpt, not as amazing as the original Bruce Lee, but still great. And also a great amount of articulation. Of course, not as amazing as the original Bruce Lee. So that's why this package is just great, but still great. So I still have fun posing it. I still have fun with that face. So yeah, I'll just conclude at that. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Hello again, Master Bruce Lee. No, don't demonstrate that 1-inch punch to me again. Here, try on this guy. Wait, what are you doing? What are you, just trust me, alright? Just trust me. So yeah, show him what you did to me. What are you doing? Just trust me, alright? Yeah, alright, go for it. How are you guys? What happened? I didn't feel anything. Neither did I. Click here to enjoy more videos.